Broadcasting from the basement of La Penta, it's WICR.
Welcome back to Monday Mornings here on WICR. I'm Matt Ricker.
I'm Katie Adriani. We've got awesome stuff to talk about today, especially Dancing with the Stars. So why don't we recap a little bit what happened last week? So last week was Latin night. So Pitbull was the guest judge.
I did see that.
He was an okay judge. I mean, he's done it before. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. So the top score of the night was Jana Kramer and her partner Gleb. They did a very steamy Argentine tango, and they got a 40 out of 40. It was an awesome, her footwork and everything. It was a really good Argentine tango. James Hinchcliffe came in second with 2 10s and 2 9s for a total of 38 out of 40, and he did a rumba. Calvin Johnson Jr. and Lindsay Arnold did an Argentine tango and got 1 10 and 3 9s, so a 37 out of 40. I love Calvin Johnson Jr. I'm not gonna lie, he's a very good dancer, especially for somebody with his height and like his feet. Like he at the beginning of the season he said he had size 15 feet.
I didn't even think they made size 15 shoes.
Yeah, so he has size 15 feet. So that's like, it's very difficult to dance with as a football player.
Yeah.
Let alone with size 15 feet. But his partner Lindsay has been fabulous. Lori Hernandez has been dropping in the leaderboard. She got 3 9s and 1 10 for a 37 out of 40. So she's like back in the middle of the pack. Ryan Lochte, because Kevin loves Ryan Lochte, so we must talk about Ryan Lochte.
We must.
He got a 30 out of 40 for his salsa, so we got 2 7s and 2 8s. He's halfway. He's not bad, but he's not my favorite. Tara Jolie and Sasha Farber got a 30 also out of 40 for their Paso Doble. Last week, Amber Rose and Maxim Sherkovsky were kicked off. I was very happy.
Really? I didn't follow that because
Yeah, she got kicked off last night.
Is she going on a Twitter rant now about that?
I think she did. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty sure she did.
I'm gonna pull up Twitter right now and see.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure she did. I thought I heard something about that last week, but I didn't really pay attention. And for her cha-cha, she got a 28 out of 40. Mary Lou Henner and Derek Huff got 2 9s and 2 8s for a total of 34 out of 40. And Maureen McCormick and Artem got a 31 out of 40 for their samba. I think the bottom 2 people were her, and I want to say, I think it was her and Maureen McCormick, and I was like, one of the 2 of you have to go, to be quite honest. Sort of hope Maureen McCormick goes home pretty soon. She's old and it's time. Her and Mary Lou Henner, I would love to get off the show. But that's my personal opinion. But so tonight is Era's night, and they have team dances, which is one of my favorite weeks when they do team dances. So what happens with the team dance is the highest scoring couples of the season pick the teams, is normally how it works. So Team Future is Mary Lou Henner and Derek Huff, Lori Hernandez and Val Schmirkovsky, Tara Jolie and Sasha Farber, and Jana Kramer and Gleb. So I'm pretty sure out of that group, it's going to be Lori Hernandez, who's the top scorer, and James Hinchcliffe would be the top scorer for the other team, which is called Team Past. So Sharna Burgess and James Hinchcliffe, Calvin Johnson and Lindsay Arnold, Ryan Lochte and Cheryl Burke, and Marie McCormick and Artem.
Looking at Amber Rose's Twitter, I said I would look it up, and on October 21st, which was last week, she wrote, after she was voted off, this means the world to me, true friendships last forever. People always say when it is the right, got cut off, wait a minute. Oh boy, but it's this whole big long thing, but anyway, what was her partner?
Max Chmerkovskiy.
Okay, yeah. So she was basically, just telling him that she enjoyed the run and doing Dancing with the Stars with her, and yeah.
I think for her, I don't think she fully understood like what she was getting into. Like, this is something that people take their time out of their jobs to do.
Right.
And, she had a major meltdown every single week.
Yeah, I remember all the buzz in the news about her, and yeah.
It was just, there was controversy every single week with her, which is just, is it good that Dancing with the Stars is getting talked about? Yes, but like, is it?
It's being talked about in a bad
way.
Yeah.
Because of something that she did or something that provoked her to say something like that. So this week is Era's night, and head judge Len Goodman is back. Yay for Len. He's one of the stricter judges on Dancing with the Stars. So then you've got Mary Lou Henner and Derek Hough. They're dancing at Charleston. So that's the 1920s era. Tara Jolie and Sasha Farber are doing a foxtrot to the song Cheek to Cheek. And that's from the 1930s. James Hinchcliffe and Sharna Burgess are doing a jitterbug. Calvin Johnson and Lindsay Arnold are doing a jive from the 1950s. Lori Hernandez has the 1960s with a quick step. Gianna Kramer has a samba from the 1970s. Maureen McCormick has a tango from the 1980s. And Ryan Lochte has a rumba from the 1990s.
Speaking of Ryan Lochte, I pulled up a few headlines.
Oh, what did he do now?
So, according to TMZ, a real judge rejects Lochte's bid to dismiss the botch robbery case.
Oh, perfect.
And it says that a judge has denied Ryan Lochte's request to have this case dismissed, and this case has now been transferred to a higher court in Brazil, and a rep from the Court of Justice tells TMZ a real judge kicked Ryan's false police report case up to the Public Ministry of Justice, which will now begin figuring out how hefty of a fine to drop on Lochte. The court rep tells TMZ that the ministry will most likely hand down a fine in excess of the $11,000 fine that Lochte's teammate Jimmy
Fegan
paid to set things right with prosecutors, and the decision is expected as early as next week.
Honestly, I think his fine is going to be way bigger than
because he was like the main culprit. I think
he was, and Jimmy Fegan fessed up to it, owned up, paid, and got out.
I mean, in a way, I think Ryan Lochte should have did the same thing, and then this thing would have
never had really happened, and he would have just moved on from it, because it's a difficult thing. You're trying to move on with your life, but yet you're still, in the public eye by doing Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
Which we had talked about this multiple times before. He's in the spotlight for Dancing with the Stars, and consistently in the spotlight. And that's something that, he's got to get used to, with people not liking what he's doing.
Yeah, no, I mean, if he did reach like a settlement or something, the case probably would have been dismissed, and it would have gone away quietly. But we'll have to see what the fallout is from that. But I know he's trying to move on. Like he
really is.
He did that interview on I forget where. Was
it Good Morning America?
Yeah, I think it was Good Morning America. He did an interview on there, and he's just trying to move on. Dancing with the Stars is a good way to try to move on. He thought
exactly. Dancing with the Stars is like a place for people to get like a second
a positive
a second positive start. A lot of these people you haven't even heard of, like James Hinchcliffe. I've never heard of him before Dancing with the Stars. I mean, I never really watched the Brady Bunch, so I don't really know who I didn't know who she was until
right.
Because it wasn't from my era. or my generation.
I've never seen that
like
either. Yeah.
Mary Lou Henner in Taxi. Yeah, I have no idea what that is but it gives people a second chance to come and back and like reinvent themselves, and it's cool to see somebody who's older than like obviously Lori Hernandez at 16,
right?
Who's in their 60s trying to honestly give their all in dance, but it comes to a point where your body's going to tell you, I can't do it anymore, which we've seen multiple times before. I mean, I think Donny Osmond was the only person to ever like win at his age. So that was definitely cool to see. But it should be an interesting night tonight because it's you've got all of the judges are really have high expectations for all these dancers at this point because a lot of them have really peaked. So it's going to be interesting for them with the team dances how they're going to display their individual like dance. So they dance collectively as a group and then they dance individually like throughout it. But I'm excited to see this because you've got a very stacked team with each of the pros. So like Derek Huff, Val Schmerkowski, and Sasha Farber have all worked together on a group dance at some point in time in the show. And then you've got Sharna Burgess, Lindsay Arnold, and Cheryl and Artem who have all worked together. So, and it's definitely you've got very, very stacked pros on the team, which should help the contestants. So I'm excited to see that. I have no idea if there's going to be an elimination tonight because you've got 8 individual dances and then you have 2 team dances.
Wow.
So I'm assuming there probably won't be a elimination tonight. It's my assumption, but we will let you know if somebody gets kicked off definitely next week. But I see you have something pulled up about Amber Rose.
Yeah, I was just searching around. According to U.S. Weekly, there's a headline that says Amber Rose says Dancing with the Stars is, quote, no joke. And she warned BFF Blake...
Black China.
Yeah, I've never seen that name before, so
that's okay.
I apologize for anyone who's laughing at me. So it just goes on to say that she's learned some hard lessons during her time at Dancing with the Stars. I learned that people make things look easy on TV, and they're not easy at all, Rose tells U.S. Weekly.
It's dancing. None of it's easy when you have to learn a choreographed dance in 4 days.
Yeah, I mean, it's I give them credit for all the hours and all the days and nights that they're practicing.
And a lot of them still are working. Like Jana Kramer's still on tour and doing this.
Right.
And she's a new mom. I think of like 9 months. So she's balancing her life pretty well. You don't see her break down and cry every time she can't get a step right.
No, I mean, sure, it'll be emotionally draining and frustrating, but just got to keep at it, just like anything else.
Exactly.
As long as you put your mind to it, you'll go far.
But yeah, so I think that's all I have for Dancing with the Stars today. But it's on ABC tonight at 8 p.m. So make sure you tune in to see the team dances and the individual dances for Era Night. And
I mean, there won't be a presidential debate to interrupt programming. So
right, exactly. That's done with. So I'm with the presidential debates. So I mean, it doesn't interrupt other TV shows either. So that's a good thing.
Right. Yeah.
But maybe should take a quick break and then we'll come back and talk about. I don't know what we'll talk about, maybe.
Yeah, well, it'll be a surprise.
Exactly, we'll be surprised at what we're going to talk about.
All right, we'll be right back.